Hello everyone, fellow Evercadians and retro enthusiasts, welcome to the Evercade effect, as seen on Evercast. This is me, you know who I am, Kill-9, and today I want to go over with you my May 28th predictions on what I would like to see and hope to see come out for the Evercade. So, I'm going to start off by making a bold statement. These first four collections, yes, you, and you, are all going to be arcade. Why not? It would make sense that Blaze needs to start and grow the arcade library, be very attractive to people for this Versus system, lots of two-player games, so just not all these are going to be arcade collections. Some of the choices that I'm picking are purely nostalgic, other choices are what I think other people would like to see. Again, these are just my own thoughts and opinions, and as you're watching this, just keep in mind, I hope you enjoy. So, the first collection we're going to go with is going to be the Technos Arcade Collection. Based upon the trailer, we saw Double Dragon, we saw the insert coin, we know it's an arcade game. So that tells me we're gonna have a collection with that. Would it be Technos Collection 2 Arcade and be the very first one, or would it just be Technos Arcade Collection? I think that would make more sense. So what I'm gonna go ahead and do is I'm gonna talk about the first game on there, and by the way, I'm gonna just choose only 3 games from each of these 4 carts. So not necessarily in any order. Let's go WWF WrestleFest. So this game, I totally remember growing up. This is one of the best wrestling arcade games out there, in my opinion. This needs to belong in the collection. I think you can do up to 4 players with the Evercade Versus. It makes total sense. So yeah, this would be one of my top choices. This game is so great. I believe there were other NES and Genesis ports. Didn't quite do it justice, so we need this in the collection. Now my second choice might be a little bit controversial, and that's going to be Super Dodgeball. Yes, the Neo Geo version. I love this. I played this before the NES version. It is superior in graphics, sound, gameplay, in every which way. And according to Wikipedia and doing my research, they show that the current developer of this is Technos. So do they own the rights? I'm hoping so. It makes sense because other games like Double Dragon, they're listed as a developer. So as I go through this, please keep in mind that I'm going off of what Wikipedia says. If it's wrong, then it's wrong. But still, we're assuming that they have the rights. And like I said, it showed that they own it. So, this game I would love to see. I can remember this in the arcade. Never played it on an AES, or knew anyone that had an AES, of course. But this game, it just belongs in the collection multiplayer. Total upgrade. Totally different. Now, the last game that I'm picking is called Shadow Force. And this game, I never even heard of before my research. I wanted to look and see if I could find something different, find another beat 'em up, and this game looks awesome! So yeah, I like to have games that I've never played before, so yeah, let's just throw that out there, Blaze. Yep, put it on there. Boom! Alright, so now the next collection I want to talk about is the Taito Arcade Collection. Now, I love Taito, played so many of their games. We need an arcade collection. And let's first start off with Zookeeper. Now, Zookeeper is one of those lesser-known gems. It's a great score-based game. You control a person, you run around the thing, you gotta dodge all the animals, you gotta keep them trapped in, and then you gotta get that score, and then you see the timer going across, and you just rinse and repeat into the end. So this game, this is just such a great oddity, score-based, it needs to be on there. I don't think a lot of people know about it. We need to have it. Now, the next game, oh yeah, you're gonna say, well, why, Kill-Dash, why did you pick Bobble? Okay, I love Bobble. I have fond memories playing it on the NES. It's a classic, a lot of people love it. Yes, there's a bazillion ways you can go out there and play it, but I think it really needs to be there with the better graphics, better sound, again, 2-player. We've got to have something familiar. These can't be all games that everybody hasn't played. So yeah, for nostalgia and for awesomeness, it needs to go there. Now, the third one, this is a lesser-known game, Arkanoid. You know, for those of you who haven't played or heard of it, kind of think of Breakout, but on steroids. I love this game. There's lots of versions of it out there. Yes, it's there for mobile and everything else. And the arcade version had like the twisty dial thingy you could play. But other ports that I've used it with your basic controls work fine. It would adapt great to the Evercade. So yes, this needs to be there. I would love for this game to be on the Evercade. It's just one of those fun, kind of quick jump in, jump out, score-based games. So next, moving on to the Midway Collection. Who has not heard of Midway? Oh man, Midway has had so many great games. One game that I love, and this game growing up, is near and dear to my heart, and that is Smash TV. The NES port of this was phenomenal. I could remember when this came out for the NES and getting this game. So happy that Nintendo came out with a port of this. I love this in the arcades, and with the way the Super Nintendo controller is, it played just fine. Now on the Evercade, we know that Xenocrisis works great. It's in that diamond shape. Yeah, it would work totally phenomenally better. It's just different than Xenocrisis, totally fun. Again, 2 players. This game needs to be on there, lots of replay value. Hours and hours of fun. And the next game ties into that. Robotron 2084. The arcade game, again, superior compared to all the bazillion ports. But this would play beautifully on the Evercade, again, with the diamond controls. And this game is a little bit near and dear to my heart. One of the first games that I ever actually played way back when I was a little growing up. My dad owned one of the first IBM PCs, and this was one of the first games that I played. Now then, you had a joystick, so it was difficult to shoot and fire in the same direction. I like just using the keyboard with the arrows and the WASD keys. That was perfect. So this would translate and play so well. I know there's a lot of people that love Robotron out there. We need this. And again, the last one that I'm going to talk about, lots of nostalgia for me. It's called Satan's Hollow. Some of you may or may not have heard of this. I can remember playing this one day at a Godfather's Pizza in Iowa City, and I just loved it. I mean, basically, it's a score-based game. Your ship, one button's a shoot, you have your shields for a few seconds. You can't get unlimited shields, so you do, but you only have it for a few seconds at a time, and then you gotta wait. But there's a lot of strategy involved, and you have to go back and forth across the screen, build the bridge. Once you get to the bridge, you go over a screen, you fight the devil dude, and it gets harder and harder. It is awesome. I think a lot of people would like this. Don't let the name turn you off. This game is great. So the last collection I have to talk about is the Konami Collection. I have a little bit of a different take on it than Pete of the 3 games that I'm going to pick for the Konami Collection. So the first one has got to be Frogger. Why? Frogger for me again. These are nostalgic, but my dad's old IBM PC, one of the very first games that I played. And I loved it. And I can remember playing that in the arcades. Better graphics, better sound, like Pac-Man. It's a classic. And other than like the Sega Genesis version, there aren't too many really good versions out there. The arcade version is awesome. We need this. Great jump in and jump out. A lot of people would love it. And speaking of games growing up, Gradius. That is another game we need to have. The arcade version is awesome. For me, it was my first introduction to shooters. A very well-known shooter. Yes, Pete, it's a horizontal shooter, but I don't care. I love it. I played the NES version of this game first, but the arcade version is just superior in every way, so we need this. It really helped to have those unlimited credits to beat it, other than doing like the Konami code. So yeah, that's on there for sure. And the last game was called Puyan. Yes, you heard me, Puyan. So this game, when I owned an Atari 2600, I owned this game. It's not really talked about too much, but it's a cool little strategy game where you're this pig on a rope. You gotta shoot down, you gotta prevent the other creatures from getting you. It's a lot of fun, a lot of challenging. However, that was on the 2600. The arcade version, very superior for graphics and sound. This is the one that you want. So yeah, I would like to see it ported. I maybe played it in the arcade once. I would like to play it more. So yeah, we need this. So those are my predictions and desires. I would be curious to hear from you. Comment below. What games and collections do you think will come out? Am I right? Am I far off? Let me know. What games do you want? I would really like to hear from you. And once again, everyone, thanks for watching, and please don't forget to like and subscribe. Bye-bye!